Hi. I forgot what I was gonna say. Man, now what do I do? Oh, I had it all worked out. I, I, I can't get stuck like this. I need to avoid this feeling. I'll just throw myself into something else. I'm sure there's some other project I could work on. Yeah, yeah, let's do that instead. Let's pretend that this wasn't just a bit. I had everything planned out, and for one reason or another, my plans didn't come to fruition. Left without a plan, without a clear idea of how things should be, am I now lost? Am I stuck? Having to start from zero, forcing myself to sit in front of a blank page without any preconceived notions of what should be on the page can be quite unpleasant. But, as I asked in the previous video, what's wrong with things being unpleasant? Maybe unpleasantries are all part of the plan. It's only through envisioning a supposedly ideal world, then comparing it to this sometimes unpleasant one, that you could say unpleasantries are wrong. It's only by holding reality's unfoldment to the standards of your plan that you could say things are unfolding incorrectly. What if I told you such plans were harmful and unnecessary? What if there was already a plan laid out for you that made your own planning largely extraneous and far less crucial? Well, it's true. In a sense, anyway. I used to have a problem with the idea that God, quote, has a plan for your life, or when people said things like, maybe this is just part of God's plan. I now, however, believe this fully. My issue was I was interpreting such ideas from an egoic framework, from the perspective of planning rather than wisdom. We've already established that planning and wisdom are opposites. This is true in the sense that planning attempts to live in the future, while wisdom lives in the present. But it's also true in the sense that planning relies on your own plans, while wisdom relies on the plan. When I say God has a plan for your life, I don't mean to say that someone has thought through your future and decided how it's going to be. This would be planning rather than wisdom in the sense that it's future-oriented. If you can imagine God as someone who is all good and all-knowing, such a being would never need to think of things in that future-oriented way. There's no need to consult the future when you simply always make the right decisions in the present. Right decisions, then, will always result in the right future. It's for this reason that the plan with a capital P is a bit of a metaphor. The plan, rather than being something that takes place in the future, is something that's baked into the way things are right now. To have wisdom is to trust this inbuilt plan and live into it. Wisdom is the awareness that all you need to bring about the quote-unquote right future is here in this moment. And if you're tending to what you need to tend to, that right future will always result. The issue, again, the reason we abandon wisdom in favor of planning, is that the plan often includes things we don't like. But such things cannot be escaped. Not forever, anyway. Reality is reality. It cannot be changed. To deny reality could be called foolish, but much of our worldly wisdom, a means of imitating holy wisdom, does just that. The planner's idea of wisdom is knowing how best to realize their plans. But given that we are finite and highly biased creatures, our plans tend to be incomplete, sometimes intentionally so. This is why the wise one subordinates their own plans to the plan, which may not always be pleasant, but is the most fulfilling. It's often hard to see, but wisdom can show us that everything here is here for a purpose, even the things we don't like. Nothing needs to be avoided or rejected. This does not necessarily mean that everything is good, but that would be a topic for another video. Regardless of the moral status of any given occurrence, the wise one simply works with what is, knowing that everything they need to get where they need to be is present. There's no need to escape to other quote-unquote better realities. When we have wisdom, we're able to participate in a plan beyond any plan we could imagine ourselves, a plan that does take everything into account. With wisdom, we can see that no matter our circumstances, we are not lost, we are not stuck, There's no need to incessantly chase fantasies or seek highs to avoid the lows. We can instead rest in sobriety, knowing that we are in our right place, knowing that everything is in its right place.